We were talking last night, and there's so much on TV anymore that's political that you can spend half your life mad. And we don't, the three of us, do not do political jokes. And the reason we don't do political jokes is because so many of them have been elected. But what's going on in Arizona right now with this immigration bill has got me to thinking, and it has been my privilege, my absolute privilege, especially when I first started cowboying, to work with some dang good muhalos, wetbacks. And they can, no matter how you feel about illegal immigration, and it's a different deal now than it was then, there's no question about it, but I got to say, in all honesty, that it was a real privilege, and I learned a lot. I worked with some good cowboys, some good vaqueros. And and this little story, I've had people tell me, well, that's not politically correct. You can't do that. You're making fun of people. Well, if you are a PC person, there's an exit there. There's one over there. Because I'm going to tell this story. Worked with a cowboy named Juanito. Good cowboy. And his English was just about like my Mex. It wasn't very good. But between my limited Mex and his limited English and some hand signals, we got along pretty good and got a lot of work done. We were prowling pastures one day and talking along, and we got to talking about things, and I asked him, I said, Juanito, are you a church-going man? Sí. I said, do you read the Bible? El Biblia, sí. I said, you like reading the Bible, Juanito? Sí. I said, you have a favorite Bible story? Favorite Bible story? Let me think. You know, I like that Bible story about when the children of Israel was trying to come across the Rio Grande, and they got down there on the Rio Grande trying to come over to this place, and there was a bunch of them Philippines come down there, and they got down on that Rio Grande. They had one big giant guy, and he was more meaner than nothing. And them children of Israel, they were more scared. They didn't know what to do with this guy. He was a great big guy. He's had long hair, and he's got this thing on his head, and he's got a shield, and he's more meaner than nothing. And but then one day there was this little shepherd boy. He's coming to camp, and he see what's going on with that big giant guy. But he ain't more scared than nothing. He's telling him, hey, big giant guy, come on down here to this river, and I'll give you one whipping. And he ain't scared or nothing. And that big giant, he's getting really mad, and he's checking his spear, and he's saying bad words to that little shepherd boy. And that little shepherd boy, he's go down there, and he gets over by the river, and he's picked up 5 rough smooth stones. And he's taken the rough smooth stones, and he's got his slingshot. And he gets over by that big giant guy, and he's going, na. And that big giant guy, he's getting mad now. And that little shepherd boy, he's taking one of them rough smooth stones in his slingshot, and he's throwing at that big giant guy, and he's hitting him right on the helmet. And he's knocked his helmet right off. And the boss make him mad now. And that little shepherd boy, he's taking another rough smooth stone, and he's throwing it at that big giant guy, and he's hitting him right here on the chest. He's knocked off that plate on his chest. And he's taking another one of them rough smooth stones, and he's throwing it, and he's hitting him on the leg, and that thing on his leg is just fall right off. And he's throwing another one of them rough smooth stones on the other leg, and that thing just fall off to it. That big giant guy standing there, he ain't got nothing but his BBDs. And that little shepherd boy, he's taking a last rough smooth stone, and he's knocked off his BBDs. And that big giant guy standing, he's more nakedder than nothing. And he's too embarrassed. He don't know what to do with it. So he's look around, and there was one white burro over there. And that big giant guy, he's run over, he's jumped on that burro, and he's right out of town really fast, and his long hair is waving on the breeze like that. I like that story. I said, Juanito, I don't know if I've ever heard that story or not. Juanito looked at me kind of funny. He said, no, you didn't never heard that story on David and Godiva?